Hello everyone, it's Quest Quenchers here today, and I just want to make a video of who I'm planning to play as when I start playing Starfield. And I've sort of thought about it, and I've really came to the fact that Starfield is a science-based game kind of thing. It's going to be all techie and all that stuff, so thinking the best type of character to be is a tech wizard or something like that. So I've kind of put together a little profile, character profile for my playthrough basically of who I'm going to play as. So I've kind of combined sort of famous astronaut names and I believe maybe even like sci-fi movie names. So yeah, so basically I'm going to be playing as someone named George Collins. He's 29 years old. His background choices will be the explorer or professor. I don't know what the professor is, but I actually really want to know. Hopefully it's a mixture of social and science, maybe. So like talking and being a leader and stuff like that. So he's basically going to look like myself, so like with brown short hair, blue eyes, white fair skin, slightly scruffy beard, thick eyebrows, and slim to medium size. So what is George's background? So basically, he was a professor at a university in New Atlantis. So he's UC born and bred, basically. He was sort of passionate about pushing the boundaries of science in both like space travel and tech and engine efficiency. So yeah. So unfortunately, he had a massive hiccup during his stay at the New Atlantis University. It went very wrong. He was basically doing a science experiment on a student's ship, but it turns out that student's ship was actually a high-ranking military officer in the UC, which was unfortunate for George as the student pled ignorance and the father believed the son, and so he was like, oh, why are you messing with my ship? What's going on here? And doing all the experiments on the ship ended up backfiring as they needed to plug the ship into sort of the main generator grid because they took the engines online, but they also needed the inside still powered, stuff like that, and which ended up short-circuiting an entire sector of the New Atlantis. So they weren't very happy with him. So what happened was basically he couldn't get a job no more. He was sacked from his job as being a university professor. He couldn't no longer work there. He was a bit vilified, but he was arrested and chucked in jail for the rest of his life. He was basically sort of be like, hey, don't come here. You helped us in the past, but still, it's, what you've done is, irritating and it's caused a lot of damage. And you've insulted someone in the UC, military, basically, in a way. So it's like, oh, I need to leave. So what happened was George Collins was previously a UC resource scouter. He would be on a big ship hunting for planets to take resources from and stuff like that. And he worked as a sort of a scouting sort of member. He would scan planets and over and stuff like that. Because sometimes within the Starfield universe, just below, not in the game mechanics, but like in the real world, you have to keep scanning, keep updating the imagery. Maybe you'll find something new, kind of thing. So yeah, he was good at that. He struck literal gold and rare earth materials, and that really helped to build the economy of New Atlantis a bit, stronger and stuff, and as well as being able to, get more materials for their weapons, armor, and ships, and all that stuff. So he was highly decorated for finding this stuff, but he sort of left that service because he had a traumatic incident with pirates. He's no longer very confident in space. He still loves the wonder and stuff, but he doesn't feel comfortable in space anymore. So basically he had a massive tragic loss of his best friend whilst in the unit, but through pirates taking over the ship, but he managed to jettison himself into a nearby planet and built a beacon to survive with his other members of the ship, and they managed to get a UC sort of vessel to come and rescue him. It was still very traumatic, and this was in his early 20s. As I said, he's so we're about like 21, but now he's sort of 29. A few years later, he's became a professor and sort of teaching geology and the history, and it's kind of a 360 role in that modern era. What era? So yeah, that's. So we join George basically at the lowest point. So he had to move back in with his sort of parents. So we're going to have the trait skill kid stuff, and we've got the trait United Colonies native because he is, he was born there kind of thing. And we're also going to have terra firma, so he's more confident in the on ground rather than in space because of the whole backstory and his tragic loss and all that stuff. So yeah, we join him, down in his luck. He joins, Argos Mining, and well, I think it's called Argos Extractors. I think, something like that. Argos Extractors, not Argos. So yeah, that's sort of the background on the whole character. So, and then he's gonna, like I said earlier, he's gonna focus on mainly science, tech, and combat. His personality is gonna be, he's a bit hesitant to take big risks, but he will do to help people and further science and stuff like that. He also has a little bit of adversity, like he just doesn't like the UC colonies after what they did with him, and basically, he's a fairly nice, rounded person, but he's still, suspicious of people at the best of times, especially with everything that happens, because it turns out whilst he was in the UC resource collection, there was a sort of turncoat, like a double agent kind of thing, and he's very wary of the UC now, and pirates. So he might end up joining the Freestar Collective, but he also might be, hey, I want to steer the UC, the UC to a different sort of space, maybe if I can help them get back to a better place, rather than be like, sort of like an unwanted hero, but returning and really making people, oh crap, we actually needed this guy, this is really good. He's redeemed himself in a way. So yeah, that's basically the character I'm going to be playing as. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be very up Starfield's alley and stuff like that. So yeah, so just a overview. So the background we're going to have is sort of professor or explorer. The traits are kid stuff, United Colonies native, and terra firma. Our skill focuses are going to be science, tech, and combat. So yeah. That's George Collins that we're going to be playing as, and I'm just going to play as sort of myself really, but a little bit different. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're all getting excited. I hope you're all making your characters, so please let me know if you're going to just play as yourself first time, or you're going to do a bit of role playing kind of thing. I think it's going to be really fun to play, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.